It's the Pod in the City weekly roundup. I'm John.
And I'm Amanda. Tom Sandoval sues Ariana and then immediately backs down, blaming everyone except himself, bro.
RuPaul continues to collect drag race franchises like Infinity Stones. When will she take her stiletto off our throats?
And the director of Longlegs continues to gaslight us all into thinking this film had way more depth than it actually did.
Come on, let me in. All this and so much more on this week's episode of the Pod in the City weekly roundup. We're here, baby.
Hi.
We're here. I'm queer, so get used to it, y'all.
Am I moving jittery?
You are,
Right.
unfortunately.
Love it.
So I have a bad feeling you're gonna dip out here for some seconds at some point. Anyway, hi guys. We're 2 minutes late because we're idiots. Literally we're about to push live, and I'm like, wait, my microphone isn't even plugged in. Y'all, it's summertime, and I think I think with the heat, for me, it's 100 and some degrees here. I think I get summer seasonal depression. Hello?
I'm here. I'm just trying to fix my internet. We're good. We're good.
Anyone else? Anyone in the comments feel that summer seasonal depression? I just feel like I can't go outside. I feel like when I do go outside, I will go outside for literally 2 minutes, and then I'm dripping sweat. And I'm like, ew, I hate the feeling of sweating. Ugh. If I could get my sweat glands removed, I would.
Can you hear me still?
I can hear you.
Great. Okay, well, should I leave and come back maybe, or am I better now?
It's actually better now.
Okay. Well, let me know if it gets really bad.
I can totally hear you too.
Okay.
Let us know out there watching. Friends, couple things before we get going. If you're watching right now, make sure that you subscribe. Amanda, you might want to leave because you just...
Okay, just go through all the housekeeping. I'll be right back.
All right, so you hit the subscribe. Also hit the like button because it's right freaking there. If you're watching right now, please hit the like. It really helps us out. Also, it would be super, 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 super helpful if you left a comment. I think you do have to leave a comment when you rewatch later, something like that. One thing that is going to be coming up is, we've mentioned this a little, is we are going to be adjusting the day and time of our live. Now, the reason we're going to be changing the time is because originally, if you were here before, if we have new, I don't know. Now I feel lost because Amanda's not here. I'm never on here by myself. Anyway, so we have to change the time because Amanda and Jody originally were doing their lives Mondays at 3:30. But because Sister Wives is coming back in September, we're going to be sometime, I guess. We're going to be changing our time because they're going to be doing their lives on Mondays. So we are going to change to either Wednesdays or Thursdays. So please, my question is, we have a couple questions. Which is better, Wednesday or Thursday? And then, what time of day is best for you to tune into the live? Amanda says about noon is all right for some people. See, in my mind, I was thinking later in the day was better. So I don't know. Could you write, if you're watching right now, type in the times. What time is the best time for you to watch this? You'd be able to watch it. Or if you're watching this later on in the rewatch, add it in the comments what time is the best time for you, because then you'll actually be able to see us live.
Am I back?
You are. That was
good.
That was
I know.
stressful.
It's the worst. I know.
It was all right, but I'm glad you're back.
Okay, great.
So yeah, please let us know. Thursday afternoon is a good time for Danielle Marie. So please let us know, friends, some more. We're just trying to take an idea. It's not going to be at like 11 at night or anything. And is Wednesday a better day or Thursday? It also kind of depends. Like, do you already watch things on Wednesday? Are there already a lot of things on Thursday? I don't know. I guess I just watch shit when I want to watch it. Right?
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Great. I feel like I'm still really skippy.
It's not the best.
Okay.
I can completely hear your voice though.
Okay, great. Well, do you want to get on to hot topics maybe?
Yes, let's do it, baby.
All right, here it is.
Now, as you guys know, we are Vanderpump Rules hoes over here. We love to dip in. So there is some news. Now, oh, was that it? No. Amanda,
I didn't get the statement.
Okay, you got to say that then. Go for it.
Okay, well, Tom Sandoval is suing Ariana because she she went into his phone since it fell out of his pocket at that concert. She went into the phone and found the video of him and Raquel, and he was going to sue her for going into his phone, even though they've been together 10 years.
So was he also, so I also kind of thought he was suing her because she like saved the video or like sent the video to herself or
yes,
something?
that too. So then we went on Justine's podcast, The Shore Store.
Oh, we did.
And it's a great episode. Everyone check that out. And
Justine and I did not really argue too much.
No,
I think it was because it wasn't centered that much around Katie, but
very so then while we were recording, right after that, he came out with a statement saying, "No, I didn't even mean to do that. And my lawyer told me to do that. And I dumped that lawyer and I just want to move on, bro." So that happened. He
said that it was like, his excuse was that it was a thing that his lawyer said was a part of it and was a formality of the way the lawsuit was written or something like that. And it's like, really, babe?
Yeah.
Is that true? Really?
Right. So then that night, Kristen Doute's podcast, what's it called? Like Unbalanced or something?
I have no idea.
I do subscribe to it, of course.
Of course.
And it's with her and her boyfriend, who is, I guess, still friends with Tom Sandoval. And that
her boyfriend is?
Yeah, what? They
boyfriend is friends with...
Yeah, he's like friends with Tom Sandoval. So if you can put up that picture.
Okay. This says, really, Kristen? Okay, this was a post from Tom Sandoval. Okay, and he wrote, "Really, at Kristen Doute, I had the quote unquote audacity. I know this really didn't come from at Luke_Broderick. Minutes after I made a statement, BTW always have love for Luke." And it says, this is a text. This must be a text.
I can
Luke
read.
Is sending.
Okay, so this was Luke sent Tom Sandoval this. And he says, hey man. Oh no. Yes? No, Luke. No, sorry. This is Luke. "Hey man, Kristen and I are just about to record a podcast coming out later today. Saw your post and Kristen says we're going to talk about it. Would you like to call in or say anything else about the whole ordeal? For the record, I told her that it's probably a lawyer move to separate him from Ariana in dumb Rachel lawsuit." I feel like also this text really shows like all the shit that like these men are doing behind all the girls' backs. Like kind of in cahoots with each other.
Weird.
Yeah. So then they put out a podcast and it's really just Kristen Doute cursing a lot, which I gotta say it was a little distracting for me. I'm like, I would enjoy this more if she wasn't just cursing the whole time. But talking about like what a big piece of shit Tom is and stuff. And then Luke was Luke was not really jumping on board because clearly he's still friends with Sandoval and he's keeping Sandoval
Mhm.
in his back pocket. But
Sandoval likes to give people money and buy things for people.
yeah.
So
And Sandoval was Kristen on the podcast said that Sandoval was begging Luke to let him be on their podcast, and Kristen said no. So what this is telling me is that Luke is kind of masterminding this whole thing and playing both teams, which doesn't surprise me for a straight male in the reality TV business. Anyway.
Well, I mean, talk about audacity. Amanda, I guess, was watching old episodes of Vanderpump Rules and really was tickled by Ariana's audacity. If you'll remember, there was an episode where Kristen has decided she's going to do sketch comedy, and another friend of hers does sketch comedy, which anyway, good for
I take sketch comedy very seriously.
Well, Ariana, I guess, has been doing had at this point been doing sketch comedy for at least 10 years, character work. It's so when Kristen just acted like it was like just whatever. Now, of course, this was after everything. She also absolutely hated Kristen's guts at this point.
Which she should have.
It was like the bitch eating chips thing. Is that like
bitch eating crackers?
Bitch eating crackers.
Yeah.
Like, anything she does. Now, I am curious. Amanda and Justine are going to this event this weekend. Now, the photo of both of these men, it's called Vander Brunch, hosted by Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval. The photo of both of them look as though, like, Tom Sandoval looks stupid, but Tom Schwartz looks as though someone was like, hey, and like took a photo really fast, and he like looked over and didn't realize what was happening. Like, so is this still going on?
As far as we know, Justine got an email saying like asking what time we wanted to arrive because the event starts at 6, but the doors open at 5, and there's a waiting list of 200 people. So for this,
please tell me there's going to be merch of some sort.
I don't know, but oh my gosh, so I can't wait.
But I can't believe there's 200 people.
I know. It's gonna be
I was kind of hoping there'd
overload.
be like 25 so that you guys could really get some hardcore one-on-one time with the boys.
No, there's a 200-person waiting list. I don't know how many people this thing actually seats.
Oh, I can't. Oh my God, I can't wait. I have been excited for this. I almost forgot that it wasn't happening because in my mind I could convince myself it was being canceled.
No, he needs that money now.
Or at least that Tom Sandoval wouldn't be involved. But hey, here we are.
All right. Well, that's it for VPR news this week. Do you want to go on to
Let's get into Drag Race, baby. Now, if you've been following every week, we've been covering Drag Race All-Stars 9 all season. And guess what, babes? This episode was so boring. I literally was like, is this over yet? RuPaul wasn't in drag. Not once. And the queens weren't in drag once. They put people in drag, but then they never themselves were in drag one time the entire episode.
Oh yeah, that's right. They weren't.
Like, so for the mini challenge, what they did was they put like people on the crew in drag, which now is kind of bad because I guess there's some allegations come to light this last week that most of the queens, except for I think Angeria, Chanel, and Nina, everyone else treated the crew and staff like they were basically like their slaves. Like they treated them horribly, allegedly. They would like piss in bottles and make them take it off the stage. And
to be fair, Willem was the one that kind of started spreading.
Now I take things with Willem with a grain of salt, but she did get kicked out of DragCon. Tell
me about that because I tried to find more information on that.
So what I've come to find out, okay, so Willem arrived to DragCon with Nicole Page Brooks, okay, and so the first thing that came out was that Willem was like, I got kicked out of DragCon you'd think that blah, 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 ranting about all the bad things that, World of Wonder does to the drag queens and how they make them pay for this. And you'd think that I've brought all this money to you, yada, yada, this whole thing, which she has. But I can also totally understand with as much shit as she talks that they wouldn't really want her there. Like,
right.
I would be I'm paranoid that if I met some of these people, they would think I'm a bitch for some of the minor things we've talked about, like their outfits on here. I think they were, and Willem really, has a lot to say. How about that?
Yeah.
So, then there was a follow-up where Nicole Page Brooks was being interviewed by someone, and Nicole Page Brooks is like, well, I came with Willem, and they were not letting me in. They were not going to let us in. And then Willem got kicked out, and they let me right in on the pink carpet and let me walk right in. So I do believe they kicked her out, and I wouldn't be surprised if it has to do with her bringing this stuff up too. Like,
I agree.
But I also believe
I'm sad that Roxy though was like one of the. I'm actually surprised that all of them were bitchy.
I'd like to know. I think it's like I want to know what that is and what does that entail. Is there a part of that is setting boundaries and standing up for yourself? Is that being a pain in the ass? Because there are a lot of workspaces where if you set boundaries, if you stand up for what you're there for, if you proclaim your worth, sometimes they don't like that. So I could see that happening for some of them. I can't imagine that all the rest of those queens, except those three, were then just utter monsters to the people. Like, I need some context. Like, did Georges tell a guy like, oh, you're so sexy, like you need to do my tuck for me? Like, I don't know what the, you know what I mean? Like, I need more detail.
I feel like the lines are pretty blurred, kind of.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
And also between the generations of drag queens, because I mean, like the older queens might find harassment. They might consider that differently than what a younger generation might.
But
so it's blurry.
Funny thing is, though, all the oldest ones were the ones that are like were treated, or like the ones that were the best acting. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gottmik did some of that, because I kind of get a vibe from her, like a mean girl vibe.
Yeah.
Her. But
agreed.
People might say we are mean girl vibes. So what the fuck do I know?
Well, we've earned it.
Couple things I want to go through, though. I did say that the franchises are really running me ragged here. And now I've had to I do have a WoW Presents Plus subscription. So I can watch all the franchises. I have watched a bunch of them. I watched the Drag Race Holland. I watched the first season of Drag Race Mexico. I watched all of Drag Race España. I watched the first season of France. So I'm giving context. I watched 3 of the seasons of Thailand, giving context. Nowadays, I kind of have had to dip out on some of them, especially if they are not in English, because you have to concentrate a lot harder. Like, I could just leave it playing if it's in English, but if it's not in English, I have to read the subtitles. So there is a season of France that just wrapped up. There's also a season of Mexico that just started. I'm not talking about those. I'm so sorry. But I do want to acknowledge them. Right now, though, there is Canada versus the World season 2. I thought we could just do a quick blast through here on some of the queens on that.
Sure.
There's Miss Fiercelicious.
Are you done talking about the episode of Drag Race?
I am, because guess what? Like I said, it was so boring. There wasn't even a lip sync. There was no drag.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
They put crew members in drag. But guess what? They only let them do quick drag, which they had more than 30 minutes. I can tell you that right damn now. But they said, oh, you have 30 minutes. No way. They definitely gave them 2 hours. But the queens weren't in drag, and RuPaul wasn't in drag.
But wait, take this off for a second, because I want to talk about the Roxy grandmother thing.
Oh, yes. Okay. So that was, they did the podcast interviews, right, in the episode. And that is something that they brought up, was Roxy if anyone's familiar, Roxy's mother abandoned her and her brother like at a bus stop. It's now almost an infamous story throughout Drag Race.
I
And
gotta say, one of Roxy's best moments was in All Stars 2 when they were doing the reading challenges, and Katya said, "Roxy, I think
yeah.
about you every morning at the bus stop." Um, and she took it with like such a grain of salt and like found it funny. I feel like that immediately put Roxy in such a good space, unlike other queens, like, oh, I don't know, a queen that wrote me and Nick a very personalized long email, who couldn't take a joke during their reading challenge. I'd just like to juxtapose that. This is
well,
Roxy.
on All Stars 2, though, Roxy in the makeover challenge, they were making over their family, and she made over her grandmother. And her grandmother, it was that the story then was that her grandmother was like her replacement mother because she never had that. They are were very connected, et cetera, et cetera. And then in this season, in this episode of All Stars 9, Roxy said that after that they had a falling out, and now she's like not with her, like her
Now, I know what
grandmother.
happened.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I listened to a podcast episode about it. She was
Okay.
being interviewed. It was on, I guess, on YouTube. But she said that after that, her grandma. So Roxy's sister has 2 kids, one younger and one who just turned 18. So this is Roxy's niece and nephew. They all lived with the grandma.
Okay.
And the sister has some kind of handicap, so she can't get a regular job. I think she's on disability, and so she needs kind of to be taken care of. And just one day the grandmother and the 18-year-old just left. They were just like over it, and the grandmother was like, "Roxy, I can't do it anymore. I'm over it. I kind of just want like," which I guess I can kind of understand. Like she had like maybe just like a full like meltdown, like it's too much. But that's it. Like they just haven't spoken since then. And now so now Roxy's sister and the younger one had to move in with Roxy, and Roxy's like, I see it as a good thing, because now I get all this extra time with my sister. But still, that like sucks. That's some
Family
dysfunctional
dynamics
shit.
are very hard.
Yeah,
You
very
look,
generational.
you see the idea of what a family, like this beautiful family in everyone's minds, and it just so often doesn't work out like that, right?
Yeah. Oh, let's go back to
Wow,
Canada Drag Race.
deep talk here.
Were you gonna go through like the people or something?
Here we go. Miss Fiercealicious. She was on season something of Canada's Drag Race originally. I've watched all of Canada's Drag Race, so I do know those girls. I know all these girls, actually. I've seen all their seasons, so I do have a point of reference here. I feel nice about that. Miss Fiercealicious is very salty and drama-filled, so I'm excited, but I do think that they will kick her off. I think, okay. So one thing that is nice about this versus the world, what they're doing is they do a bottom 3 each episode, okay? And then the winner of that episode, there's no top 2, they just pick a winner of each episode, and that winner gets to basically this power to choose one of the bottom 3 to take out of the bottom 3. So they kind of do you know what
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
No, I gotcha.
So it's kind of different than the normal All-Star, so I can't really say that people will get kicked off. I do think Miss Fiercealicious is going to stay around because I think production really likes her drama. Then we have Lemon, and now people
I remember her.
Okay, you do? She
Yes.
was on she was also on UK versus the World, I think season something, and she got kicked off first on that. She also but she got famous from doing this verse with Priyanka in this song called Come Through. She's pretty good, I think. I like her. People like live for her, and I like her a lot. For me, maybe she's just a little like I could like a little more spice to her. How about that? Then we have Tynomi Banks, who is amazing. She didn't really make it far enough, I think, when she was originally on Canada's Drag Race. So it's kind of really nice to see her back. And she has a really cool promo look. Then we have Eureka. Now people are hating on Eureka quite a bit.
I've always liked Eureka.
Now she's annoying, and in this first episode, she is what do you call that? Boots in the bad way. Like you're busted down boots. She's kind of a mess. Anyway, oh geez. Oh, are you changing? Oh, nice. Oh, I just muted you on that. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can. Great. This is way better.
All right, great. I'm gonna restart my computer. Keep going.
Okay. Then we have Alexis Mateo. Bam! Now I really like Alexis, but okay, there's something with the sound going on though, Amanda.
Is it better now?
No, I don't know if it's coming out of your phone. I think you need to turn the phone music sound off on your phone.
All right, keep going.
Okay, we have Alexis Mateo. We all know Alexis Mateo. Great. Then we have Kennedy Davenport. She's fine. They did do this show on Wow Presents where they did a backup. It was like backstage of the Las Vegas show. There was a new season of that, and she was on it. And she's all right. Yeah, she doesn't move me, but she's all right. Then we have Cheryl Hole from UK. She's all right, too. She's pretty good on the first episode. Then we have Le Phil. She's my favorite. Love her. She's from UK as well. Love her. She didn't really get to go very far on the first season, unfortunately. So then we have La Cahena. And she was on France. She was like their first off in the first season of France. So I'm just going to say, use that as your expectations. She definitely is like a pork chop. Then what I do want to say, though, is if you do want to watch the first episode of this, it's actually on YouTube for free. You can go, I think if you just search RuPaul's Drag Race Canada versus the World Season 2, long ass motherfucking title. It's on there for free. So watch that episode. Then coming up is going to be Global All-Stars. Now, this is actually going to be hosted by RuPaul, and I think it's kind of exciting because I mentioned it last week. This is so funny watching you on the camera like this. It's just, wait, are you on mute now?
Yeah. Is that sound still happening though?
I can't really tell. Let us know in the comments.
Oh, we're coming. I'm coming into the room right now. Don't you worry, baby. You just keep going. You're doing great.
I'm just going to run through some of these girls on Global All-Stars who I don't know some of them because, again, I didn't watch their seasons. So let's see. This is Tessa Testicle. I love her outfit. I don't love this name because, I'm sure she's from Drag Race Germany. I think she's going to be pretty good. We have Vanity Vane from Drag Race Sweden. I think her outfit's kind of basic. Then we have Soa de Muse. Now, she was on Drag Race France. I loved her, so I'm really excited to see her. I love her. Then we have Pythia, I think, from Canada's Drag Race. I thought she was almost going to win her season that she was on, but she didn't. I'm really excited to see her because she gives me like Crystal Method vibes, but like more glamorous. In a way, like she did some of her runways were amazing. She did like a two-headed person thing where she had a fake head that was like her and she smoked with the fake. It was really cool. Then we have Nehelenia. She's from Drag Race Italia. I didn't watch this either, so I don't know. She seems really sweet though. This whole season also is in English, so it's a little easy. Now again, I'm trying to preface this and I'm just saying it is easier for me, an English speaker, to watch when it's in English because I can then look at my phone. I can be doing other things. I don't have to be like reading everything. So that's why anyway, I love this outfit and this bike situation. I love this photo. Then we have Miranda Lebrão. She's from Drag Race Brazil. And I like this outfit too because it's giving me like a soccer ball and she has like full soccer ball on her head. Then we have Eva La Queen. She was on Drag Race Philippines. I did watch this and she was pretty damn fierce. And that was the same season that I think it was the same season. maybe not. It's the same franchise that Marina Summers was on, who was on UK versus the World recently. I feel like this is so... They just have too many going at this point. They really do. They need to like, I understand, make money, babe. Make money, bitch. But like, reel it in. We got Athena Leakes, Drag Race Belgique. We have Kitty Scott Claus from Drag Race UK, which I did watch her. She's pretty good. I think, though, this is a little horrific for this. Then we have our hometown hero, Alyssa Edwards. And I hope she brings some of that Annie Oakley up in here. Don't you?
Yeah.
I'm
hell
feeling like, obviously, Alyssa's going to make it far unless they somehow figure out a way to boot her ass. And maybe this is Alyssa's chance to win a crown, finally. I do love Alyssa. I think she, though, is very up her own ass a lot. So unlike some of the queens that are like more down to earth, I think
And
she
humble.
is very, very up her own ass. But she is coming here and doing a show. It's called the Glitter and Giggles Tour or something. But it's playing... So I was going to get tickets. I thought about getting tickets. You can get them for like $60, which I think is annoying. But it's a 2-drink minimum, which I also find annoying. And the byline for the show says, or like the description says, Alyssa will be performing a spectacular opening and closing number. And then it's other drag queens like in between that.
Yeah.
So fine, but for $60, Alyssa's doing just the opening.
60 seems
number.
Low, actually. Oh, well.
For her to just do the opening and closing number at like a comedy club,
a comedy concert.
Anyway, besides that, there is one thing I want to shout out, and this is a show that I've watched all the seasons of this, and I don't know, people don't really talk about it enough. I feel originally, and I think the first seasons you can watch on YouTube. They were free episodes on YouTube. And it's a show called Camp Wanakiki. And this is all about having like high camp drag queens, basically, like kind of more low budget queens. And what the premise is here is they have the heads, they all go to a summer camp. So it's like at a summer camp. And they do the daytime activities. They do like outdoor activities and stuff while they're in drag, like boating and crap like that. And then they do a talent show at night where they have a costume and a thing that goes along with it. And it's really like low budget, but there's something really sweet about this show that if you are sick or tired a bit of the Drag Race shit, which is very produced, very just like everyone has to be perfect, try Camp Wanakiki. Season 6 is out now. And this is, I think, on Out TV in the United States, which I have a subscription because I like to subscribe to gay shit to support it, of course. But this as well, you can watch the first episode of this on YouTube. So look up Camp Wanakiki, season 6, and you can watch the first episode. Now, again, guys, it's crunchy. It's low budget. If you really are a Drag Race fanatic, you might be like, oh, God, this is garbage. But I like trash, and I love campy stuff, and I love it. And my favorite queen of the season, I'm calling it, and I think she's gonna win. Unique New York.
Ooh.
She's the one here, like, squatted down in the front with, like, the puff on top of her head and, like, the pussy out. Oh, my God. She is so fucking funny. A lot of them are really funny because the whole point is that they're all just trying to be funny, make jokes. And this show's really cool, too, because they have all types of drag queens. They have drag queens, drag kings. They have, I think, no, please, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think they call them AFAB queens, which means assigned female at birth. So, like, they're a woman doing drag as a drag queen. They also have non-binary queens. It's so cool. I love it. Please check it out. And be
I've
kind
never heard
to
of
it,
it.
though. Please be kind to it, though, because it's, again, a little bit crunchy. But it's pretty fun. Try it out, please.
I like crunchy.
Same. What else? A manada.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm still like really glitchy, right?
It's actually better.
Okay,
Much
I'm not going to
better.
touch anything. This is egregious.
I would just leave it because
Okay, as long as my sound is okay, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Mine,
What?
Does anyone know how to use this stupid ass remote or this mouse? It's the Apple mouse, and I swear
what about
if I
it?
touch it in the wrong spot, it like zooms my entire screen in. I also can't, and then I can't figure out. Anyway,
it might be low battery, and you can also change the sensitivity on it. Hi, Latrice.
We mentioned last week or the week before or something that Freaky Friday is getting a sequel, and guess what? They're filming, and I gotta say, I like these outfits.
I'm living.
It's giving me some kind of like hope and excitement. I think Jamie Lee Curtis looks fucking amazing. That one.
What do you think the scenario here is? Are they switched again?
Oh, for sure. Or there could also be that they're switched with, like, maybe Lindsay Lohan has a daughter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And then they're like they're switching double or triple, or I don't know, because like, is this an outfit on that Lindsay? I don't know. I don't remember the mechanics of the movie, so like, would the outfit, does it need to? Anyway,
I guess the big news is that I guess Chad Michael Murray is coming back. There he is.
Yeah, I used to think he was so fine on
yeah.
One Tree Hill. Was that?
Was he in? Was he in? What's that called? And I lay my head.
No,
back.
that was Shane something.
Oh, okay. Well, potato.
A Walk
potato.
to Remember. A Walk to Remember.
They look exactly alike, right?
No, that guy had brown hair. That guy had brown hair.
Oh, okay.
The guy in A Walk to Remember had.
But fine.
I would fuck Chad Michael Murray most.
Sure. Yeah, I'd have sex with all of them probably.
No doy. Was that it?
So that's that. I mean, I guess I'll see that movie. Or I mean, this came up on my TikTok, and I'm like, I guess I'll put this in there. I don't know how excited I am for this movie, but I did see that movie with my dad, and it was a good experience.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember they go to a Chinese restaurant, and they get fortune cookies, and they change their bodies. So I'm assuming they're gonna go to the same Chinese restaurant, and something's gonna happen.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that whatever happens in that Chinese restaurant and whatever soundtrack they have playing underneath probably doesn't age well.
No. Now the original one, I think they will probably change. I think they'll fix that.
Yeah. Like Gary.
But what? Now you're on mute and you're frozen. What the freak is going?
I don't know.
Hello?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, babe. All right. So, big news. We've both seen Longlegs now. We saw it, y'all. Now, I'm going to start by saying
when did you see this?
Spoilers. I saw it last night.
Okay, great.
And now here was my progression to Longlegs. I had been hearing for days, weeks, months about how Longlegs was like going to be the horror movie of 2024. It was like the scariest thing. Like, it had made people throw up, shit their pants, like literally pass out, and just like,
how though? Like, I mean, I know you're building up to something here, but like, how is that possible? what exact part was somebody throwing up or shitting their pants?
Okay, I could see there's a part where there's dead bodies with maggots all over them. So there were disgusting things in this movie.
When does that happen?
They're in that house like way later on. They find this family and they're like, how long has it been? Oh, it's been months or something.
Oh,
then
that's when I went to the bathroom.
They peel back a sheet and there's like 3 dead
Okay.
bodies and there's maggots all over it.
So I missed the one kind of scary part.
And I would say that Nicolas Cage in general in it is scary, I guess, but I think I may have I tried to avoid spoilers really badly. I really did. But then when I looked and I just wanted to see what reviewers were saying. I actually wanted to see what people were saying. Like, did people like it or whatever? And I did see people being like, "Oh, it's just a satanic movie." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I knew it was going to be about the devil. So that if you went into this movie having no idea what it was about or anything, maybe you'd be scared. I don't know, because there's a lot of online contention of people being like, the people who say this wasn't scary are demented. How? Of course this is scary. The idea of being like tormented and murdered, and I'm like, they never
I agree. I agree that that's scary, and that like somebody turning on their own family. I think The Shining is scary.
The premise is scary, but they didn't do a good job of making it scary.
I wasn't scared. It was super boring. And the thing that's irritating to me now is that so many people are coming out and saying, you just don't get it. And it was so deep. No, it isn't, because now the director, who is Anthony Perkins' son, and he played David Kidney in the Legally Blonde movie. I do like him. I think that this comes across as a first-time director, which, okay, it's not bad. The movie is not bad. The
movie is fine. I just think it was built up too much. And I also think it has a major tone issue. Because literally, there's parts where I feel like it wants you to laugh.
For sure.
But are you supposed to be? It was weird. It didn't make sense.
It's the Nicolas Cage of it all. It's me knowing it was Nicolas Cage took me right out of the movie. And then the whole prosthetics.
He also has insane prosthetics.
Right. So now, like I said at the beginning, this director is coming, Osgood Perkins, which, I mean, of course, that's what Anthony Hopkins' son is named. Osgood Perkins. And I think his mom died like in September 11th. I think that's correct. So like, I mean, I completely support him making horror movies. I think he's a good person to do that. Because he's got some fucked up childhood.
What do you think he's watching? Or something? He's watching.
No, well, I don't know. But anyway, he's coming out now with all of these things saying like, well, actually the prosthetics was, he was a glam rock guy, and he just had a lot of years of plastic surgery. And he was trying, yes, that's what we're supposed to get from this, is that he was an old glam rocker and he keeps trying to get surgeries to make himself pretty for the devil. Okay, that's cool. I love that story. Not a single fucking person that watched that movie got that.
When did they mention glam rock at all? That wasn't even
wasn't. He's retconning everything. Maybe because the movie was based in the 90s.
I thought the plastic surgery would have made sense because so what ends up happening, major spoiler alerts here.
I guess nothing happens, so there's not much to spoil. And you can see everything coming a mile away.
Okay, you could definitely one moment where I was like, oh, she's gonna walk up behind the car and shoot her in the head, isn't she?
Oh yeah, that was beyond obvious.
The girl leaves. Okay, so basic premise is, now this could be surprising to you if you just think this is a movie about a serial killer, okay? What ends up happening really is that this serial killer is making realistic dolls of little girls whose birthdays are on the 14th of each month.
Now, do you know the story behind that?
Is there a
Because there's no way you fucking got this either. There's another fucking him gaslighting everyone.
Okay, what is it? Because there was some minor explanation.
He said that he's always been obsessed with John Benet Ramsey, so I immediately perkined up, if you will, because I'm obsessed with the John Benet Ramsey case. Top 5 like favorite true crime stories. So I was like, cool, he's gonna like mirror like that whole thing. But no, it was more just that I always thought it was crazy that she died like feet away from a life-size doll of herself. And that's it. That's it.
Okay, well, this fucking creepy doll maker makes life-size dolls of these of children, okay? And inside the brain, inside the
Don't
head
give
of
a
each of these...
spoiler though. Don't like say who it was or anything. Unless you were going to. Were you planning on like saying the whole plot here?
Well, I would say just that part is enough. Like if I saw a review and they said that it was a doll possessed that had a thing, I would be like, oh, okay, well, I wouldn't care if there were any other spoilers.
Okay.
This movie I did not like. Anyway, Nicolas Cage ends up, again, major spoiler alerts, he ends up freaking killing himself like in an interrogation room. And then the movie continues to go on for 20 more minutes.
Yeah,
And
my problem really with this whole thing is it's not the movie's fault. It's how everyone else is like acting around it. I don't care if you like this movie, that's awesome. I love some movies that no one likes. Basketball is one of my favorite movies.
I
But
agree on
it's
that.
everyone now coming out and saying how deep it is. And it's like, no, I'm not stupid. I just don't think it was deep. And I think everyone is retconning kind of mid movie, an okay movie. Everyone's retconning it, including the fact that people are saying, "Oh, the daddy long legs spider has this is why he has long legs, and this is how he lives in the spider community." And then Osgood Perkins was in an interview saying, "Yeah, I was trying to think of a title, and I just thought that the word long legs was kind of scary, so I made that the title." It had nothing to do with like any anatomy of a spider. And
I think that this, again, I think the ultimate issue with this movie was it didn't know what tone it wanted to take.
yeah,
It didn't know if it wanted to be funny. I think if it would have gone further in any direction, it would have been better. Like if it would have been more fucked up, it would have been better. If it would have been more funny, like campy, it would have been better. If it would have been more like just absurdity, it would have been better. Like this it ended up being like, oh, okay, like Justine,
exactly
name another movie that you really like, and I'm sure I can bash it really hard.
Terrifier 2.
I haven't even watched the Terrifier movies because now Amanda and Justine did give me a good heads up that there was no like, I mean, okay, the one part I did gasp at, they're walking up to this house and the girl and Micah Monroe, who was fine. I hated her character, but she was fine.
She was good. Yeah.
She's walking up with her FBI partner and she's like, I just know this is it. I know this is it. Come to find out later, it's because she literally was brain possessed or whatever. She's like, I know this is it. And then the guy knocks on the door and is like, FBI. And you're just standing there waiting. You're just like, they're standing there waiting. And like someone shoots him right in the freaking head and he like falls. Like I gasped at that. That is one part that I was like, oh. But at the same time, I probably should have seen it coming.
Yeah, I didn't think it was scary. But yeah, it's fine.
My experience last evening, to round out my movie corner, was so I've been going for days trying to go to this movie, but it's been rather popular. Like most of the showings here have people at them, and I like to go when there's maybe 6 people in the theater total, not too many. All right. So I'm waiting and waiting. It started at 9:50 last night.
That is a crazy time to go to a movie. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
It's the best
That
time.
is crazy.
So then I'm like, oh my God. I kept seeing, and until about 9:25, not a single other ticket had been sold at this. And so then I started to be like, oh God, I don't know if I want to go to this movie like all by myself. Am I going to be like truly creeped out? Like, am I going to be like freaking out? Like, I don't mind going to the movie in a theater by myself, but like this movie, I thought it was going to be scary. It wasn't. And so I was like, oh God. So I end up going and 2 other people got a ticket. So I was like, yay. Okay, great. There's at least 2 other people in there. So I go in. By the time the fucking movie, I buy my ticket, I go there, yada. By the time the movie started, the entire back section, there was like 30 people in it. And then if you've been listening, I sit in my special seat behind my wall, and usually there's no one in front of me. 5 minutes into the fucking movie, after you've missed the first scene, which I kind of feel like you'd kind of need to see the first scene, right? 3 like teenage boys walk in, come and sit right in front of me, recline their seats all the way back, are like whispering over to each other, poking each other. Yeah, it was annoying.
When that happened, when me and Justine were there, right as the credits were starting, not the credits, like the opening, 3 girls walked in, like teenagery, and they sat right behind us, and both me and Justine were like, and then they gave us they kind of whispered a little bit, couple seconds, and then they were silent through the rest of it. I was like, good job, youth.
One thing I've been reminding myself when I get really bent out of shape about people being annoying at a movie or whatever, I like to remind myself that they'll wear themselves out. It's like anything, you know, after 5-10 minutes of them being annoying, like usually they shut the fuck up. So then I'm like, okay. Anyway, life lessons from an elder millennial.
All right, what's next? Do you want to go into my wormhole?
I think it's your turn.
But you're gonna have to handle the pictures because I really can't click on anything. I'll just tell you what to click. I can see them, I just can't really.
Are you there? Now you're on mute. I wonder if playing those video clips isn't helping you today.
Video clips, I think, puts me on mute, but I'm back. Can you hear me?
Remember used to be my remember how it used to be my computer fucked up every
I don't know what's happening because when we were talking right before we pressed record, I was fine. So this is a StreamYard thing. Anyway, you can hear me though, right?
I hate StreamYard.
Yes, I actually like StreamYard.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Claim to Fame, episode 2. Big reveals happen. So it's actually getting good. Kind of, but then like the two major players just got immediately voted out. And I was like, oh, okay. But yes.
Hey, you watch Big Brother?
No. I've seen seasons of. I saw one Ryan O'Connor was on. Or not a Ryan O'Connor. Marissa Jarrett Winokur was on.
I guess that Big Brother is kind of popping off here right now. So is Love Island. Amanda got inundated with my obsession with Rob and Aaron from Love Island USA, who are in love with each other.
Oh yeah, yeah. They want to touch each other's peepees.
They can't wait to go meet each other's families and stuff.
One of them was just wearing overalls with no shirt underneath, and he was going commando, and I was like, that's pretty hot. Claim to Fame. So the 2 girls here, let's put up either one of the 2 girls here.
Oh, okay. This one. Oh, okay. Now last week we thought she was related to, didn't they give a bunch of extra clues for her?
So this is Gracie Lou, and that's not her real name, and she was lying about her name, and she was lying about where she's from, and she pretended to be like from Texas and have a twang.
That's why I hate this show.
Right, you can lie about where I was understanding now why you don't like.
How are you supposed to guess who this person is if they can just lie about who they completely
Yeah, it's basically so that you only have to tell 2 truths and everything else can be a lie. But she got like in the bottom, so she had to guess. So if you're in the bottom, you have to guess. So you get up there and then you have to, but it was a double guess this time. Already, episode 2, they're like, we're getting you out of here. So she gets up there and she is guessing. She guesses I think I forget who guesses who, but let's go with the top guy first. His name is Adam. Okay, if you can click that top guy.
Okay, and who thought he was related to Chris Daughtry?
Did we guess?
I thought we tried to.
Okay, well, anyway, her guess was
related to a singer or something, I think.
Right. So her guess was Dustin Hoffman, which was based on nothing. Oh, because there was like a clue that was like dusty. There was like a duster. And they're like, oh, well, okay, then I'm gonna go with Adam. I'm pretty solid on this. It's Adam for sure.
So if they guess, they get kicked off, or what?
If they guess wrong, if she guesses right, he gets kicked off, and if she guesses wrong, she gets kicked off.
Okay.
So she guessed wrong, and I was doing my research, and the internet sleuths have already figured out that this guy is related to Michael Bolton, which, yeah, he looks exactly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so go back to Gracie Lou.
Okay.
All right. So then she gets voted off.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. We don't really have any
Oh yeah,
clues.
Chad Kroger from Nickelback.
Oh, okay. She gets eliminated, and it turns out that her uncle is John Cryer. So we had like no clues for that. But okay, bye. That's like pretty good celebrity too.
Sure, but she was allowed to pretend that she was Southern and that her name was Gracie Lou. And what were her clues? What were the two clues that were true?
I think it was that like
her
an
relative is famous.
Yeah, so Emmy and like actor and I don't know. I think she said like aunt or something. Anyway, John Cryer for some reason must have been hanging around this studio a lot because he came and randomly picked her up to go home at the end. I was like, okay, you're on like the highest rated television show.
Maybe
for, like,
they're gonna
years.
do that this season.
No, because no one else did that. Okay, so fine. John Cryer, he's like in the show.
Bye, Gracie Lou. You're a liar from the start.
So then Jill now is the other girl. She has been bamboozled into by Molly Ringwald. Now, the other person we know is Molly Ringwald's niece. We know who that is. I don't have a picture of her, but she's a front runner in the game.
Okay, wait. So how can everyone know who she is, but she's still a front runner?
We know. Like the
I
audience,
thought that they all knew that she was those extra clues.
No, because nobody knows that Brat Pack clue. The only person that had that Brat Pack clue was, I think, this girl or it was Gracie Lee, but either way, they're both gone now. So no one will ever know that Brat Pack clue or Breakfast Club clue. So that's out. And anything that does come up about the Brat Pack, now she can just be like, oh, well, that was John Cryer. Because he was in a movie with Molly Ringwald. So anything that comes up Molly Ringwald, she can anyway. So Jill picks now that Molly Ringwald's niece bamboozled this girl into thinking that this guy, the other guy that, if you want to put up, his name is Miguel, which I think is not his real name. He wants to sound more Spanish. Yeah. So he wants everyone to think he's more Spanish than he is. So people were thinking there was a pair of maracas on the board. So everyone's convinced that this guy is related to Desi Arnaz. And
that's
Adam,
what you get from seeing maracas. Like,
yeah, I'm 100% sure on this. So Jill is telling, or maybe it was the Molly Ringwald girl, but she's telling Adam, the Michael Bolton guy, oh, I think it's Desi Arnaz. And this guy has no idea who Desi Arnaz is. And it made me hate him. And I'm like, well, you're an idiot. Like, you should know that reference.
I do think, though, this show is shitty because they have young players and they're all related to like stars of 1945. Like, it's not like any of these, like maybe John Cryer, but I don't even think that's a name on the tip of any 20-year-old.
I would know Desi Arnaz before I could come up with the name John Cryer. But anyway.
You're a 40-year-old, like,
yeah, but it's not like I lived during
girl.
I Love Lucy. These are references that everyone should know.
You're a camp queen, honey. Sure. Come on.
So then Miguel, this Spanish guy,
but he's not Spanish, right?
He's not Spanish. This is how so then Jill ends up guessing Antonio Banderas. And do you want to know why? Because he tricked everyone by standing in a room by himself and whispering to himself, Antonio Banderas, Antonio Banderas, Antonio Banderas. And then somebody heard him and he's like, yeah, you should go tell everyone that you heard me saying that. And then Jill didn't know who Antonio Banderas was either.
Awful. This sounds so fucking stupid and awful.
Yeah.
Like, what?
So that's what happened.
That was his strategy, stand in a room and just say, Antonio Banderas.
He tried to the jinx himself. What did I do? Kill them all, of course. So he did that too. I guess good for him. But I think that people have found out who he is. Let me just check my notes here. He is, so the internet sleuths have found out that, spoiler, he is the nephew of Jamie Lee Curtis by way of Jamie Lee Curtis's half-sister Allegra. So kind of reaching on this. So now Jill gets voted off because she guessed wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her uncle is
Jill related. Jill's related to Colin Powell by way of her cousin's sister,
No,
but her clues
her
were that
uncle.
maybe she's from Ohio and maybe her
Her
name's
uncle is John Stamos. And she's like, he's
What
a
were
really
her
good
clues?
uncle. And then John Stamos came on the screen and he's like, great job, Jill. Proud of you, hun. And that was it.
I hate this show.
Can't
This is
wait
my
to find
new
out
hate show. This is like my absolutely new show that I hate.
Let's
Ugh.
move on to my teen mom recap
Teen
because
Mom.
it was really good this week. Okay.
Okay.
So you can kind of when I say hot tub, you can put those pictures up.
Okay. Ooh, guys, get ready.
Yeah,
We're
there's
waiting
some
for the magic
real cute.
words. Hot tub.
Yeah. So Teen Mom this week, the boys went on a, oh my god, did I lose my note? Oh no, I didn't. I did not lose my notes. Devoyne, okay, so the one story with Brianna is that Devoyne wants, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Devoyne, put up a picture of like Teen Mom or something just so that I'm not frozen on the screen. Devoyne wants to put the girls on a school bus to school, and that was the entire story there.
Oh, cool.
The boys are planning a boys trip. So all of these boys.
Now the boys are who?
Tyler, Gary, Shirley.
Oh, F star, Tyler, Gary, Shirley.
Corey from the challenge.
I think Corey's kind of hot.
Of course you do. Well, anyway.
I don't know his background enough. I don't know anything about it. But
he's really
compared to some of compared to Gary. Now,
well,
did you say the magic word yet?
Not yet. Well, they go on it. All these boys that would never ever go on a trip to never be friends with each other at all have to go on this cool ski trip to Michigan. So they go ski. We get to well, no, none of them are really skiing. They're doing like a tricycle skiing situation where they're like kind of leaning on these tricycles.
What?
Anyway, meanwhile, we find out during this, we get there. Gary and they get in the hot tub. You can put up the hot tub pictures just while I talk about this. These real sexy pictures. Gary is talking. Yeah, look at this. Just
where is Gary though? You didn't get a hot tub shot of Gary.
I didn't catch any of Gary.
Okay, so this is Corey, right?
That's Corey, yeah. And
is
the guy
he
back
tall,
there is.
Or?
I don't know. They all seem tall.
This is weird. I mean, not weird. They're just really. Wait. I'm seeing something in this photo. Are you seeing what I'm seeing in this photo?
What?
That Tyler's legs are like over Corey's.
Oh, yeah. It looks like, yeah. Are they?
Yeah, like they have. Well, okay. If you've been in one of these hot tubs before, there's like the two corner seats face towards the middle. Okay, so they're like angled towards the middle. That middle seat that Corey's in, this is investigative journalism. That middle seat Corey's in is facing straight towards the middle, but the other two are at an angle. So what has to be happening here is I see Tyler's left leg is over the top of Corey's right thigh.
Yeah.
And you know what, baby? I love it.
Well, I'm sure Tyler loves it too. But Gary,
you think Tyler has a hard-on?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like at least halfies going on in this hot tub. But the whole point of this is we get there, Gary immediately spills the tea. So Amber, Leah hasn't talked to Amber, since her birthday, and everyone's like, oh yeah, well, no one is trying to stick up for Amber anymore. Like Tyler's over it. Everyone is like, yeah, Amber sucks. So Gary's trying so hard to kind of get to the point of the story without it being too obvious. So he waits for so he's like, it's just great because Christina's there. I mean, thank God we have Christina. And then everyone's like, Christina's great. She's a gift sent from heaven. She's an angel. Thank God for Christina. And then Gary's like all cute himself up. And then he drops this bomb. Well, she's going to adopt Leah. That's what Leah wants. Leah wants her to adopt her. And everyone's like, whoa, boy, like really excited. Tyler immediately like scurries off and like FaceTimes Caitlin, and he's like spilling this hot gossip. And now Caitlin calls Macy and she's like, do you know that Christina's gonna adopt Leah? And Macy's like, I'm a little worried about that because Amber's fucking unhinged, and this is probably not great for Gary to be doing this on TV, and not cool. And now Caitlin and Macy are basically in charge of like handling this ultimate meltdown that will be happening. We don't hear from Amber this whole episode though, so I can't wait. At one point, Gary,
did I see a preview then for the next episode or something? I saw a clip through TikTok where Amber is reading a text or she had text Gary saying Leah never answers my phone calls, or it was a long rambling text.
Yes, that happened like at the beginning of the episode, like, but we don't see Amber. So at one point, Caitlin's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I should call Amber and warn her. And I was like, oh my God, yes, please show that. Like, all I want is to see that, to see Amber like being told that Leah's going to get Christina to adopt her. But yeah, I mean, Gary is all about talking about this. He's cooking everyone enormous bacon, egg, and cheese Egg McMuffin sandwiches in the morning. He's making all this like bacon. He's cooking up a storm for these guys. He's making tacos at some point. He's cooking and gossiping about Amber. So then this hot tub scene is basically just all the men sitting around congratulating each other for
with their legs over each other's,
putting their legs over each other's laps and saying, you know, I think it's really cool, Devoyne, that you took time you took time to really figure your own stuff out so that you could really be there for the girls. 10 years later, all of them just start going around and saying, yeah, it's good to, we all managed to figure ourselves out. We all got our own shit together and we're better people for it. And it's like another example of men being rewarded for
doing the bare fucking
not
minimum.
Even bare minimum. They all took years off, especially Devoyne. And they're like, that's great that you managed to take time off to get your shit together. And now you can be there now that Nova is 10 years old.
My question from all of this is, why so many hats in a hot tub?
A lot of hats. They must be so cold and tiny.
I have never seen anyone wear a hat in a hot tub. Now, I'm assuming Red Hat here is bald, so he doesn't want to show that off, or balding, I'm assuming. But why is Corey wearing a hat? He didn't want to do his hair. And what's this guy's name?
That's Devoyne.
Oh, he got his shit together.
He's the one that got his shit together again.
Here's the thing though, babe. You got your shit together after being on a TV show that you got paid for. So
well, and then it kind of juxtaposes with Brianna being like, Devoyne helps, not consistently, but I mean, I guess he's around more than the other baby daddy Lewis is around, which is 0% of the time. So anyway, that was Teen Mom. Cannot wait for Amber to find out that she is being that Christina is going to adopt Leah. Leah is savage, and I am here for it. We've all been here for it. We've all been waiting for this. So good on that. Yeah. Oh, and something happened with Janelle, I think. No, who cares?
One thing I forgot to mention in our Vanderpump Rules section earlier is I have a theory, and when I listened, I've been watching, and the theme song. The next time you hear that, I want you to picture Kristen Doty singing it, and I believe it's her singing it.
Okay.
That's my theory.
But it's not. It's like another artist because it's on me and Justine's playlist it comes up on my route all the time.
I know it's not actually her, but I think it sounds like it's like one of those things where they're like, this sounds like this sounds like Kristen Doty, and then someone's like, I can't unhear it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, there's something actually that in our TikTok section. Yeah, go ahead. Let's go on to TikTok, shall we?
It's TikTok, babies. All right. What am I? Here's the one that I've been seeing this a bunch. Call us gelatin. It's so attractive. Who's that about it? Be something
I know it. It goes, call it. It's Aladdin and Jasmine. Call us Aladdin. He's so fantastic. She's so attractive. When we're flying high together on a magic carpet ride. And somebody said, you can hear, ho, it's gelatin.
Yeah,
it's gelatin.
That's been my favorite one, where she's like, it's Jasmine and Aladdin. Ho, it's gelatin.
It does sound like that for sure. But this is going to come up on all of your shit. And it's just a lot of people and their best friends doing it. And now they buried the lead on this movie because do you know what else happens in this movie? They like
Descendants Rise of Red.
Sure. But at some point in the movie, they like stumble upon Cinderella and Cinderella's prince like dancing and singing. And it's Brandy and the guy from Brandy Cinderella.
Yeah.
How come more people aren't talking about that?
It's been talked about, I think.
Oh, well, all I'm saying is college gelatin.
Well, because I think people have known that for a long time that was happening. Because I think Brandy was also in the one before this. There's like 50 of these movies.
I've never heard of that before, other than that gelatin thing.
Well, like in the original one, Kristen Chenoweth is in it. What's his face? Cheyenne Jackson. Some other people.
All right. Well, that's it, though.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you were going to hire someone for our viewers are just dropping like flies here.
I know, that's just because I'm sorry. I don't know. I restarted my computer. This sucks.
Oh, you think it's your fault?
Well, I don't know. Something's going on.
No, I think it's because like, is this boring?
Are we boring you? Jesus.
I want to know if you hired a painter for your wedding, would you be happy with this? So there's this big controversy coming out of now. I don't even think this girl meant for this to be what it was. The original video it's a video of a woman coming up to her, and the caption is like, wanting to make sure you're included in the wedding painting or whatever the fuck. And it's a woman being like, ooh, did you get my bright dress or something? And then they zoom in on this like image, and people just roasted this bitch alive. And if you notice, the comments are completely off. She charged them $850 for this painting. And I wish this was a little more zoomed in because like, okay, in the painting, they're like the bridesmaids and groomsmen are there, but like their heads are like cut in half by an umbrella that like she didn't adjust her perspective to maybe get the heads of the
Well, the whole thing here is that the painter, the artist, is doubling down and being like, "This is good. This is good."
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly was like, "Well, I could never do this." Like, I find this impressive that somebody painted this in a few hours.
Now,
but
as an elementary school teacher, sixth graders could do similar. I
guess just I couldn't.
There's been a lot of like people coming out of the woodwork being like, oh, for $850, this is what I do. And this is the example I saw too, where just feast your eyes on what this is right now. Once I saw
other people's versions of this that charge way less, I was like, oh, okay.
This person's looks like it's maybe drawn with crayons or like it looks whack as hell. And this one was $400.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I would never want a large painting of my wedding.
Oh, right.
But for people who do, this one is like 1,000,000 times better than this.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, anyway, that was it. Now,
I mean, that's all that's coming up on my feed is that, and then this woman that got her hair dyed.
Okay, I don't know anything about this, so.
Okay, so this is I love it's a Schadenfreude type thing here because I truly am happy for people who are happy in their relationships. Like, that is great. Doesn't affect me at all, so great. But I get a little bit of Schadenfreude from this kind of shit where, oh, people are calling you out for your like bad relationship, and now they're doubling down, trying to act like no, you're all wrong. So this woman dyes her hair. She looks gorgeous, obviously. And it was supposed to be
This says when you dye your hair red and it brings a whole new energy.
Yeah, this wasn't the actual video, but this is what the hair looked like. So her husband comes home. And it was like, haha, the caption was, when you dye your hair and you get the opposite reaction of what you want. Okay. So it's her. And then she has this baby. Everyone's really concerned about this fucking baby. I don't even notice there was a baby in this video until like the 5th time I watched it. But this baby like runs up to the dad. The dad's getting home and everyone's like, I couldn't believe the dad didn't even acknowledge that his young baby was running up to him. I was like, all right, well, he probably wanted a minute. And no, well, that was a lot of people's issue. So anyway, this baby runs up, the dad ignores the baby, I guess. But then he looks at this woman's hair and he does like basically a Brad reaction, just like you like no, like nonplussed. So and she's like, isn't that funny? She's like, oh, I thought you'd have a better reaction than that. And then the video cuts. Okay. So that's fine. Everyone's like, your husband's a dick. If anyone looked at me the way, because he looks at her with disdain, right? So now they're doing
red hair.
I guess. I mean, she looks beautiful. So like, whatever. So yeah, so now they're doing this shit. They're posting like us. Here's one of us reading through the hate comments on my last 14 videos because my husband reacted poorly to my new red hair. So now they're trying to do this thing like, we're having fun with this. We're so in love. Like, look, we think it's funny. So they're doing this. And then they did another video where she's like, guys, like he does like my hair. It just, actually he's here. He's going to give an explanation. So he gets on with her and he's like, yeah, no, I do like it. I just needed a minute to process. And like, to be fair, you were like being a total bitch that day. Like he's like starts going off. And he's like, we were fighting and you were just being really annoying that day. And so it's really just it's another example of that couch guy. Do you remember that whole controversy thing that happened about a year ago?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like another one
get
of
up
those.
Off the couch when his girlfriend, and there was another girl like
there's thousands of people out there saying, I watched this video. You can tell he hates you. Us are telling you like this is what we see, and then them being like, no, that's not how it is.
I think a lot of the time people need to learn to take the L and just be done with it. Like,
well, if that was me, I would just delete everything. I would delete my TikTok and like never post again.
If all those people were talking shit about you, well, like this wedding portrait girl, I do feel kind of bad for her because now $850 for this, babe.
But then don't go double down. It's the doubling down. I can't
exactly.
handle.
Now a little bit of lightheartedness. Layla, the bat retrieving dog for what team was this?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, well, they got to retire. Though. Yeah, they got this their last bat after 6 years on the job.
And I, of course, cried watching this. It's just she picked up the bats, and it just had her picking up her very last bat, and the whole stadium stood up and applauded for her. And I cried.
Hey guys, if you love Layla, hit the fucking like button, damn it, and leave us a comment. We'd love it.
Join our Patreon. Really I can get money to improve my internet, maybe.
Hey, we didn't even mention our Patreon. Guys, I figure the people watching this are probably on our Patreon, but join our Patreon at $6 a month. This week we talk about goils.
Now, and by the way, remember I was going to post a free video of designing women. We both re-listened to it actually, and both of us equally were like, I don't think I want that.
I was glad. I'm actually glad that you agreed.
No, there was stuff I said on there too that I was like, oh, I don't want it. I don't want like. I'd rather that stay under the paywall. So, guys, there's a good episode on there.
It was really good. I was
the designing women part isn't controversial, but like our conversation at the beginning was very raw. But good, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, check it out. It's patreon.com/podinthecity. Now,
do you want to round it out with your little segment here?
As you guys know, if you're at all a part of gay TikTok, you're given thirst traps throughout the week. And I've decided on my mission that I'm going to screenshot a bunch of the...
Can I just jump in really quickly and say, I never... Like never, ever, not now, not then, not never, not. I never get a thirst trap ever. I get a lot of food videos.
Well, you know, TikTok, basically, if you watch something, it gives you more of those same things. So if I have a lot of thirst traps, what is it saying about me?
That's why I'm getting so many gelatin videos. We should do one of those, John. If I ever come to Phoenix, we'll do a gelatin video 6 months after the trend.
Okay.
All right.
First, we had this Torteria Rancho Alegre. And these people went there and they got food and they noticed that like the men who worked behind the counter were really fine. So there's this guy. There was this guy. I thought this guy was giving me Amanda vibes. Like you would kind of like dig him. I don't think this is the best screenshot, but I was like, oh, Amanda would like him. And now they did a follow-up. So there was an update. All these men are single and available. So see, and in this picture, the guy on the left, that was him. I think he looks fine. The one in the middle, fine. All right. Then I also saw this. It's just two boys horsing around, having fun on the beach.
That looks totally candid and real, by the way.
Well, it was a part of a whole thing. They did this whole thing where each of them came out of the water and were like, whatever. But this part I thought was especially, it just like, they looked good here. Then I get these where it's like, allegedly someone like getting ready for their job and they do like a thirst trap like right before like they like he puts on the hard hat and then he's like flexing his arm like and then he's like putting on anyway. Then I got this whole string. This is all from one, but you can go to this place in Singapore and have these like hot buff shirtless guys like feed you food. So
this doesn't seem sanitary to me. I don't like this. I also don't like the no hair. It's too shiny.
I agree on that. I agree, but like they can't. I don't think this person can help it having no body hair.
Okay.
Anyway, now this says having prawns peeled by topless guys.
Ew. I don't like any of that.
Topless guys celebrating your birthday. Then can give you the princess treatment and pass you from hunk to hunk. So they literally have them passing you around like in their arms from person to person.
Do you know how much I would fully dead weight that if somebody tried to pick me up? No, for sure I can pick you up. No, I can pick you up.
There's no fucking way they're picking my ass up either.
Oh, no, I'm giving dead weight before we can even find out.
See, they will feed you too. Here's the address if anyone's interested in checking it out. It's Mr. Mukata Plus. Oh, the place is called Mr. Mukata Plus. It's 320 Tanglin Road, Phoenix Park in Singapore. So
great.
Check her out, babes. A couple other things. This was just a guy who was, messing around. If you guys know, I like fat asses.
I like a big butt. Yeah, I like that.
I like a big, juicy booty.
Yeah, I take a bite out of that butt.
Oh, baby. And then speaking of juicy booties, here's this. You almost feel like, how is this allowed on TikTok? But it is. They're in like a white Speedo doing all kinds of things. Now this, I want to leave this week with this one.
Okay.
This one shook me. I've started to sometimes, I've only seen a couple of these, is an AI. Someone has done an AI thing. They did one where it was Jimmy Fallon and Conan O'Brien doing like kind of a thirst trap, but they were like in outfits. They were fully dressed.
Okay, I think I saw this.
I watched that and I was like, okay. And that's why I think I got this. Now, this is an image from an AI generated video that I got on my TikTok. Can you see who this is?
Yeah, it's Tom Hanks.
This is like this is Tom Hanks's head on like a super buff, super ripped beefcake body walking away from like a fire. I think like, and the thing with these AI videos is it'll go from like one picture to the next. Like it's not really the same thing, but it was always Tom Hanks. And I was like, is this where we're at with this? Like,
Do you
why Tom
know that
Hanks?
if you mention Tom Hanks around Jody, she will tell you she considers him to be not a great guy. And do you know what that's based on? It's like it's
No.
such a Jody thing to like not like someone for. Because there's like some rumor that came out, and this isn't like it's
Okay.
probably true, but like somebody who went to high school with him, I guess the story is that someone was at their own locker and Tom Hanks's girlfriend like had a locker nearby. And so
Mhm.
they're both at their lockers. Tom Hanks came up behind his own girlfriend and whispered in her ear so that like this person could hear something about like, I can't wait to get you home and eat your pussy. And Jody
Jody,
thinks he's
that
Jody's like, he's a bad guy. He's not. It's sad when these things come out. He's
See, I
basically
think
been Me Too'd, and
I think
I'm like, I think that's
that makes me
nice.
like him more,
Yeah, I
actually.
know. I know. It makes him
You're
seem
like,
not as like
"Oh,
lame.
cool." He, like,
Yeah, good. He wants
was
to. He
like,
wants to
"Oh,
eat
I'll
his
eat you
girlfriend
out."
out. Oh,
Nice.
great.
Love
Good for
that.
He's a
Equal
giver.
opportunity. Exactly. Now, there's been big news happening all around the world, and all I wanna say well, not really
Oh,
all
I
around
wanted
well,
to say
all around the
something too.
world, yes, but there's a lot going on, as we know in the United States, at least where I'm from, and all I wanna say is I would love you guys to go to vote.gov and make sure that you're registered to vote, because we're ready to do this bitch is all I'm saying, and I'm ready to fuck shit up! Go ahead.
My only statement is that I think that it's cool that there is a female black woman, a black woman on the ticket for president. I think that's really cool.
I do too.
And that said, Trump 2024, obviously.
Oh, fuck off.
But I'm actually really excited. I'm excited to watch this bitch play out now. Like I'm like,
Solo
ooh,
way, I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
I just
And I
think it's
know
really. I think it's awesome. I think
there's
I'm
a
very
lot
excited
of
to watch this.
there's a lot of bitching and moaning from all over the place about
Of course.
it, and people being like, well, you want dictators to tell you who's your choice. And it's like, baby, no. We voted for her to be
I
the
just
vice
like that this
president, so
evens
end
the
of
playing
motherfucking.
field a little bit. So that's all we'll say about that. But
I'm
yay and Trump 2024.
yeah,
Let's wrap
baby.
it up.
Oh,
Join
fuck
our
no.
join our Patreon and all that good stuff. And you're gonna have to handle like the music and shit at the end, John.
Oh.
So get ready.
Okay, guys, so we love you. Check out our Patreon. If you aren't subscribed, obvi do. Then hit the like. Also, I would absolutely love if every single person on here went and commented on one of our videos. Leave a
Yeah.
5-word comment. It helps engagement so more people
Put a
can
heart.
see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, put some
Especially
shit on
on
there.
this video. Actually, if you're listening, maybe go and give this video some love because again, I tried. I'll get this fixed before Browntown on Wednesday. Good
Maybe
Lord.
if you could find it in your heart, someone could join our Patreon to help sponsor Amanda's internet to not be so
I think it's because
shitty.
it's too hot. Calgary can't take the heat.
Mm.
All right.
Is your guys' mainframe shutting down or whatever?
We love you guys.
We love you
Have a
guys.
wonderful week.
Let me see. Okay. We love you guys. Bye bye.
Mwah.